Very good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our new sessions of political science with the first lesson, that is power sharing. Now let me introduce this particular session with the definition of power sharing. In a common sense, what we call the name or the title of the chapter tells us about the definition of power sharing. Power sharing means what? The power, whatever power which we have, that particular power is distributed among the various people. Now in the language of political science, we'll see the definition of power sharing. What is said over here? An intelligent sharing of a power among a legislature, executive and a judiciary. Now last year we did with one chapter, why democracy? What is democracy? So in the democracy, in that particular chapter, what we have seen, whatever the representatives, whichever elected by us, whichever selected by us, these particular representatives, they are having the entire right, entire power to take the decision on the behalf of the citizen whosoever elected them. So what the Indian Constitution says, whatever, though these particular people, though they are elected by us, but the power not supposed to be concentrated in the hands of the particular person. So, this particular constitution tells, or the makers of the constitution, they decided that this particular power supposed to be distributed among the legislatives, executives and the judiciary. So, what power sharing means? An intelligent sharing of the power. Intellectual sharing where no one can misuse his or her power on the behalf of the people. So, an intelligent sharing of the power among the legislature, executive and the judiciary is very important in the design of the democracy. Now, in this particular chapter, we are going to go with the case study of two states, two countries, Sri Lanka and Belgium. First we will see Belgium and its ethnic problem. Dear students, ethnicity. The first word which we need to know, that is ethnicity. What do we mean by ethnicity? Ethnicity means various religious groups, they are with those who share the common feeling. These particular people, those who are having the we can say common interest, they are coming together and they share their common culture. Here in Belgium, if we see the problem of Belgium, when the Belgium was formed over there after the Treaty of Vienna. Now in 10th history, we are going to deal with the Treaty of Vienna. The formation of Belgium was done under the Treaty of Vienna. What it says? So this France, Netherlands and Germany, these particular states came together and they formed the different country, that is Belgium. Now, here the problem arises. If we see the history of Belgium, what is it? Belgium is a small country in Europe. It has the borders with the Netherlands, France and Germany. Now already I told this particular country was set up when Netherlands, France and Germany came together. So definitely those who are the citizens of Netherlands, France and Germany, they definitely came together and they formed the nation. Now, as an ethnic problem of Belgium, what is seen over here? 59% people, whatever the total population of Belgium, that is out of this particular population, 59% Flemish region speak Dutch. Dutch means what? Those who share the boundary of Netherlands. Another 40% people live Wallonia region and they speak French. So this particular 10% people they speak Dutch and 40% people they speak French and only 1% people they speak, that is German. So this is the ethnic problems faced by the Belgium. Now, this is what the situation of an entire country. But what is the problem? So in the capital city of Brussels, now Brussels is the capital of Belgium. So in the Brussels, the entire situation was totally different. If you see, here 59% of people, they speak Dutch. But in Brussels, what is that? Only 20% people, they speak Dutch. And those who are minor in the entire country, their population is major over there in Brussels. So, whatever 40% French speaker, they are more over there in Brussels. So, Belgium started facing the problem of ethnicity. Now, what is the said over here? In minority French speaking community, they were relatively rich. Now we know about France. Since so many years, means we can say France, along with Britain, Dutch, France, these particular people, they formed their colonies over entire country, entire world. So, as a part of this, though the French were minor in in Belgium, they were relatively rich and powerful. What is it? This was resented by the Dutch-speaking community who got a benefit of the economic development and education much later. Means after the formation of Belgium, after the formation of this particular country, when this particular people they came together, France, anyhow, French, they were the rich one, but the Belgium, we can say, this particular Dutch people, they got the opportunity to be the rich or educated, we can say economically powerful, economical development, they saw after so many years. And this created the tension in Belgium. This created the tension in Belgium that these particular people, they were telling, means who Dutch people, what they were telling, we are major over there in entire country. So whatsoever the government which is going to be formed after the election, our people supposed to be, or our representatives supposed to be the major. But French were speaking the same thing that though we are minor in entire country, but our population is major over there in Brussels. So definitely, whatsoever the government which is going to be formed after the election, our representative is supposed to be the major. And this is what the problem is by Belgium. Now let's have a look with the Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, the case of Sri Lanka is also like the same as Belgium. What was the history? So see, like other nations in South Asian region, Sri Lanka has a diverse population like the same. Like we have the diverse population, Sri Lanka also is having the diverse population. Most of the democracies, they are having the diverse population. So the Sinhala speakers, now see, we have seen in Belgium, 59% Dutch speakers were there major over there in entire country. Here, 74% Sinhala speakers, they are major, and the Tamil, that is 18%. And if you see the division among the Tamils once again, so among the Tamils, there are two subgroups. The original Tamils, the Sinhala Tamils or the Tamils, those who were there from so many years, and Indian Tamils, those who were shifted over there as a part of the slave trade. Means whatever the slave trade took place over there by the British or by the Europeans. So these particular Tamils from India as a slave, they were transported over there by the British. So what is said over here? The Sri Lankan Tamils, there is two. The forefathers came from India and the population workers during the colonial period is called Indian. So the division is seen over there. The population, the country is having the diverse population. Now the problem arises over there in Sri Lanka. Now we have seen the problem of Belgium, the ethnic problem of Belgium, the same ethnic problem also faced by Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka followed the policy of a majoritarianism. What is majoritarianism? Here, those who are in, it's a belief. This particular policy is a belief in which those who are major, they start thinking that though because of our majority, whatsoever the government whatsoever the culture which we or whatsoever the language we speak, entire nation supposed to follow the same language, same culture, and it is our whole right that we supposed to form the government only. Means in this particular, because of this particular belief, vegetarian policy, whatever followed by the Sri Lankans, these particular people, they disregarded the interest of the minor people. So what happened over there in this particular policy when it is implemented over there by Sri Lanka? So the Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948, when Sri Lanka become an independent region, independent country, or get freedom from the clutches of the British. What is it? In 1948, the Sri Lankan leaders, those who are having, can say the leaders of the Sinhala community, what they started, they sought to secure the dominion over the government by virtue of their majority. So anyhow, we have seen that 74% majority of Sinhala speakers. So definitely after the independence, these particular leaders of the Sinhala community, they started imposing their right, their we can say power over the minority. Who are the minors? The Tamils. So as a part of this, in 1956, an act was passed. After the election, after the formation of the government in 1956, as a part of this particular policy of a majoritarianism, the Sri Lankan leaders, the Sinhala leaders, they formed an act. And as a part of this particular act, what was said? This act recognized Sinhala as the only official language. And anyhow, when it is said over there, act was passed over there that Sinhala became the only language of the country, the Tamil was disregarded. Now what is it? A new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster the Buddhism only. Now we know Sri Lanka Buddhism is the major, one of the most we can say major religion over there. So as Sinhala accepted the Buddhism, so the act passed in such a way that only Buddhism would become the religion of the country. All these measures coming one after another, the gradually increase the feeling of alienation. Alien means what? The people, they started feeling that we are not a part of this particular country, as the government is not going to think about our interests, government is not going to think about our culture, and government is not going to think about what we feel. So these particular Tamils, they started feeling alienated over there in this particular country. And as a part of that, as a result, the relation between the Sinhala and the Tamil became worse. Definitely, suppose whosoever, we can say, now we are going to see in the next chapter, federalism, what makes India a federal country, and though India is a diverse country, still we are living in a peaceful manner. Though in India, if we see the religion-wise population, Hindu is the major religion over here, but our constitution follows the secularism. This is what last year we have seen. Secularism here in India doesn't allow, or the government of India doesn't allow any particular religion, the religion of the state. But this has not happened in Sri Lanka. This has not happened in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka passed the act, and only one particular religion became the religion of the country. And that made the problem over there. And the Sri Lanka started facing the problem of a civil war, where the Sinhala community and the Tamil people, they started the war over there with each other. And we know that, you might have heard about the name, the famous the terrorist we call it, that is Prabhakaran, LTT. You might have heard about this particular language. So LTT was formed over there, and this particular Tamil people, they started asking for the separate region for themselves, and this is what not accepted by the Sinhala. So this is what the majoritarianism policy which was followed over there in Sri Lanka when after its independence. Until now, Sri Lanka is facing the same problem because of this only.